Poop.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are we all doing? You guys can hear me, correct? Yes, you can, and I'm not muted on my thing. There we go. That was a noob move. Rookie mistake. Thank you all so much for being here with us for the Lounge Live tonight. We've got a very special guest, a second timer actually here on the show, Matthew Milby. How you doing, bud?
Good, man. How are you been?
Not too bad, not too bad. As you all know, we've got our co-host, Mr. Vaping with CJ, with us as well. CJ, how's your week been, bud?
Not bad, not bad. How about yours?
It's been eventful but uneventful. I mean, how much could possibly go on with this quarantine? You know?
Wow.
How much can you really do? You can't get in any trouble, so I guess that's a good thing.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, no, it's been an uneventful week for me. I'm just doing the same old thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not been bad, I'll say that much. It hasn't been a negative week, so for the most part. You know, I still have those little spats with the wife, but
yeah,
we all have those. All right, I'm looking at the stream, and I'm not looking at us. And so there's a delay there, and so I'm like, should I stop talking and let him catch up, or?
I can see chat now. We're good.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and give a shout out to people in chat. Stuart Ayrton, Angela Stiles, Rajan Sagu, how are you, my friend? We've got Subaru Nerd Vapes in the house as well. Erwin Kopecki, Chris Storm, aka Tuna, 808 Kevin K, aloha, my dude. Stu Rep is in the house, as well as my boy Red. Thank you guys so very, very much. Big love and fist bumps to all of you.
Stuart's selling quiet. Is this better now?
Is that better now, Stu?
Is that better?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Can
you hear me now?
What about now?
No. Yep, exactly. Sorry, I was going to vape that, but I don't have any wicks in it, so maybe I'll do that while we're talking in a little bit.
Apparently it's not better. Hang on, let me...
No, it's not better. What if... Oh, you know why? I think I might know why. What if I do that? You try talking.
Hello?
Wow! Holy shit. Try talking.
Oh. Hello?
Closer.
Is that better?
Do you not have a gain knob on that?
A gain? No.
Oh,
no,
you don't have one of those. I have one of those.
Nothing.
All right, Stuart Ayrton says that's better. Oh, Red's fucking with you. He's just messing with you. He's just trying to get a rise out of you. Oh, man, that's funny. So, yeah, let's go over what we're vaping on tonight before we get into the show here. CJ, would you care to enlighten us with the buffet that is yours tonight?
Absolutely. Only two things on the go tonight. Got the Asmodus Millikan V3. And on top of that, we got the Rebirth RTA. I wasn't a big fan of this mod. I never reviewed it, but weren't a big fan. I preferred the old Milliken V2, but I thought I'd drag it out because the V2 looks like shit. So I've got that on the go. I've got the Zeus Juice Atlantis, which is a blue slush. That's very nice indeed. And I have got the Old Faithful SX Mini G Class with the Blotto on top of there, with the extended glass on.
Posh bastard.
And in there I have the juice that I quit smoking on, which was the Black by Zeus Juice.
Oh.
There we go. That is my two setups. So over to Matt. Let's see what he's vaping on.
So I'm kind of going old school. I'm actually vaping on it won't even come up on my screen. See, like I got the virtual. I'm actually vaping on a Dragon Ball. It was we had some in my store that we that were sitting on the shelves, and I just remember I really liked that RTA for some reason. So I got one of those out and started vaping on it. I have no idea what mod I'm using. I just grabbed one that I did because I think mine broke or something, or I was squonking. Yeah. And I didn't need my squonk mod. So I just grabbed a random mod, started using it. But thanks to Lethal here, he helped me get a hold of a guy today to order me a nice mech mod. And to tell you how good my memory is, I don't remember what the dang mech mod is called. The Verd, is that what it is?
The Vert. You were
Vert.
very, very close.
Very close. So, there goes my dog. My wife must be home. With the coronavirus going on, the wife's working from home full time. All the kids are home now for another 4 weeks.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what I'm vaping on, and some Dinner Lady lemon tart. I haven't had that in a while. Figured, I don't remember what this tastes like, so that's what I'm vaping on.
Dinner Lady lemon tart. That's the one. That one was a good one if I remember right.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's enjoyable.
I think I've had it a couple of times, but it was a while ago. But yeah, awesome. I have several setups. Only 4 of them are operational at the moment. But we've got the Hexome V3 O-frame with the carbon fiber doors and the Odium or the Unicorn V2 RDA on top there. Love that setup. In that, we're rocking the... Where did it go? It's the new one. The Nancy's Flancocho from ENB E-Liquids. Come on, you stupid. There it is. Sabores del Encanto, Nancy's Flancocho, the Nancy's Flan Cake. That's what's in the Odium tonight. We've also got that lovely, lovely little Dreamer 21700 mechanical mod with the Ardent RDA on top there as well. And in that, we're running some of this, not that one. It's the Cafe con Leche. You know how we do. Right there. More Cafe con Leche, more Sabores del Encanto. And yeah, I'm finishing up the last 2 bottles of my Sabores del Encanto on the other 2 mods. We've got the Vert from Unicorn Mods with the Unicorn V1 RDA on top there as well. Matchy black and green. Love that. In that, we have the Coquito, the coconut rum eggnog. And then I have to wick it, but we've got the dual 21700 parallel box Warlock's Hammer with the Apocalypse Gen 2 RDA on top and matchy blue drip tip there as well. And in that one, we have the very, very, very last drops of my Pastelillos de Guayaba, the guava flaky pastry from Sabores del Encanto. Yeah, it's that damn good. I wish I didn't need to re-wick, to be honest with you. But it's going to taste great for the last few rips that I'm going to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and for a mouth-to-lung setup that I've got going on, because you guys know I've been into mouth-to-lung for a little bit now, but we've got that Drag Nano pod kit here, and I'm still rocking it. Had it since before the DC rally last year, actually. Oh, wow. Which was back in November 12th, if my memory serves correctly. But, yeah, so that's what I'm vaping on. Andy Harris, hello, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Red just ordered the Clutch and the M-Turk V2. Looking forward to it. Yes, very nice. Very nice setup.
I just ordered the Trilogy RTA from Vapors Club.
2 thumbs
Yeah,
up, man.
yeah.
2 thumbs
So
up.
that should be well. My vape shop said Thursday, but he said the deliveries are all over the shop at the minute. So, but yeah, he should have it on Thursday. He's going to drop it off to me. Looking
Oh,
forward to that.
sweet, dude.
Yeah, a lot of vape shops are and distributors are experiencing delays in a lot of their product right now. I know a lot of some of the biggest distributors have cut their workforce by half,
Yeah,
and they're doing everything they can to get stuff out. But people just, I mean, they're gonna have to wait. So
yeah,
we even got to wait an extra day or two, or sometimes three, for our orders for our shop. So it's kind of typical right now.
yeah,
Yep. With
yeah.
everything going
Yeah,
on.
he's closed. He's closed his business to the public, but he said he's still doing like deliveries and stuff, so people can still get their juice, which is nice.
Oh, good. God, that's awesome. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, I'm going to be wicking this. It's only going to take me two minutes here. But
We can talk about something while you're waking.
absolutely. For sure. Now,
Well, I guess since I'm in the advocacy world, the two things I'm seeing that people could do right now to help out, because in advocacy, I'm mainly concerned about Maryland and what goes on in Maryland, but other states are having issues right now too that we can all help.
right.
So right now in Florida, they are trying to pass SB 810, which is a flavor ban, and they're doing a campaign where people are holding up their signs, and I actually have mine over here somewhere, that we did, because they're doing virtual rallies because of social distancing right now. So the best thing to do is to go on Twitter or Facebook, look up the Florida Smoke-Free Association on Twitter and Facebook, follow those guys, and they have instructions on what they want you to do to contact the Florida legislature so they're trying to get the governor to veto this flavor ban. And the guy who leads that, Nick Orlando, he'll have a bunch of details. And another dirty, rotten thing that's going on right now is by Governor Cuomo of New York. Amidst all this, he has people in his state. It's almost an epicenter of coronavirus in New York right now. So what's he decided to do in his infinite wisdom? Push through a flavor ban. So New York is also dealing with another flavor ban, and they need your support also. So you can go on Twitter, you can go on Facebook. I believe, I don't know if you guys know who Matthew Salter is, but he's one of the guys in New York that has all the information. You can look him up on Facebook, and he has all the information of what they want you to do in New York to reach out to their legislature and speak your voice that this is not only a wrong thing to do, which is going to displace a lot of employees at a time in our history, really, that employees need money the most, and they're going to do a flavor ban and put even more people out of work, which is it's unethical, it's wrong, and not right now.
It is wrong. It is wrong on so many levels, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's exactly like the government to do something like that. It's coronavirus. What am I doing over here? It's everybody look over here. Don't pay any attention to what this hand's doing.
Exactly. It's just like the stimulus bill that was just passed for Americans. It's 1,200 pages long, which no American is going to read.
No.
And it's filled with pork. And who knows what's all in it? We'll find out in the coming days. But it's just, they're doing stuff they shouldn't be doing right now. And Americans should be very pissed off about it. I know I am. It's a misuse and an abuse of taxpayer money.
Yep. And power.
Yeah. I mean, I understand. Yeah, let's help out our fellow Americans. in this time of need. But with everything else that's in there, I think they want to give like $35 million to like the Kennedy Institute or something. I'm like,
To people that already have money.
yeah, people already have money. Yeah, it's people right now are displaced employees, especially small businesses, and those are the people that need help the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just want to say big love and thank you very much to Chaos Pixie for posting that link for the Twitter for FLS Smokefree or Florida
awesome.
Smokefree.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you. That's awesome.
That is Mrs. Lethal, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You haven't heard of it.
You know? Damn.
Very nice. Yeah, very nice lady.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
obviously, like over here in the UK, vaping is lax at the minute. They're sort of they're almost pro vaping in a way.
Yeah.
But I've said this to Chris many times. I feel sorry for you guys in the States of what you're going through. With vaping at the minute, it's just awful. It's been awful for a few years, hasn't it?
Well, speaking of the UK, you're absolutely right. How it is over in the UK, we're fortunate enough here in Maryland. We have Guy Bentley that works for the Reason Foundation, and since he's from the UK as well, he's actually come to our hearings in Maryland to speak some truth, and
Yeah.
I thank him profusely every chance I get. But just another shout out to Guy Bentley. I mean, just great advocate for this industry, and actually speaking truth, because that's what the Reason Foundation is all about. So
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, thinking about what the TPD and everything else, what that did for the UK, like the restrictions they put in place, like 20 milligram or under only for nicotine. That's a big thing. That should have happened in the States as well. That's massive. That needed to happen. 2 mil tanks only. I wasn't too, what's the point in that kind of thing?
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I said, we're lax over here, and like just stuff like that. That's obviously got the extension glass on it. There's ways around the 2 mil restrictions.
people always find ways around everything.
Yeah,
Like shipping it in an extra box.
Uh-huh.
yeah, that came in an extra box. Yeah,
Yep. Because they did that with the FP as well.
yeah. So you can't ship it with the tank itself, but you can put it in an extra box in the same package.
Very nice.
Rock on. Thank you very much, Kira. Thumbs up and smashed. We did have somebody mention what they were vaping on here. He said that he was... it's Stu Rep. He's vaping on something old, but it works so well. The Kangertech Subbox Mini and Kangertech Knee Box.
I remember those.
I have no idea what those look like. The Subbox Mini I've seen. The Knee Box, I don't know what that looks like.
Are Kangatech still going?
Yeah.
They are.
As far as I know, Kangertech is still in business.
I just haven't seen anything.
I haven't seen anything new from them. No,
No, I haven't seen anything from them in a long time.
not at all.
Have you guys heard anything new coming out? Because I know like China are semi back to work now, from what I've been hearing.
Yeah.
So, anything coming out that you guys have heard of?
I haven't really heard of much as far as vape shop stuff goes. A few new RDAs, RTAs. I know Vapor Cloud. They made the Hive. They're coming out with a new version of the Hive.
Wait, who'd you say made the Hive?
Was it Vapor Clouds that made that?
No, that was CCI.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, they're coming out with a new version of a Hive.
I was going to say, like...
One of my friends actually had he came into my shop. He owns a liquid company. He came to my shop and he had a prototype of the new Hive coming out, and it was huge. It's beastly, but it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Before my dog comes in here and starts tearing up. Gotta close that door. I gotta remember that.
I know the
We're
vape.
watching Frozen 2 for the 10 millionth time.
I haven't seen that one yet.
10th.
I've just got Disney Plus.
Yeah.
It's just been released over here, so I know it got released earlier. I know it got released earlier in the US, but
Yep.
it's just come out over here. So yeah,
Nice.
I downloaded that last night.
Nice. You can get to watch The Mandalorian.
Yeah, it's a great show. Great
I haven't
show.
seen it.
I haven't
I've
started.
seen parts of the first episode. That was it. So
I
far.
haven't started. Yeah, it's just for my daughter as well because she fell in love with what was it? I can't remember now. Something Disney anyway. So I wanted to get her more into sort of like Disney stuff, Disney shows and stuff, Disney movies.
Heck yeah. Good
Yeah,
wholesome
just-
entertainment.
Stuff that I used to watch as a kid.
So, with all of these flavor bands, we've talked. I don't think we've mentioned how we know you. You run 2 vape shops, Smokefree Nation, correct?
Yep.
And you are also the president,
Vice president.
vice president of the Maryland Vapor Association Alliance.
Yes.
There we go. There we go. That's the word.
And
I
then
get those mixed up.
And then we met in person at the DC Vape Rally. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We met in person there.
Yep.
And then you made me blush. But so with all of these different things going on, how is the fight going for the MVA? And I know you guys work kind of closely with the VTA.
Yeah.
How does things look on their end?
So I can give you a quick rundown of how things went in Maryland this year. So we had about, I want to say, I lost count. It was like 7 or 8 bills against us this year. And they were all different versions of them. There was a flavor ban and a tax. And then there was like, one of the bills was an all-out prohibition. Yes, honey. One bill was an all-out prohibition. One was a prohibition on just certain things, and then there was a flavor ban, which is a prohibition. And then there was a 30% wholesale tax on the table, and then there was an 86% wholesale tax with a floor tax. And the 86% wholesale tax, like I said, it had a floor tax, which means you'd owe that 86% wholesale tax on your existing inventory, payable within 30 days. Yeah, buddy. And then,
Cow.
and then this bill also gave rights for individual municipalities to charge their own tax. So the state could charge like an 86% wholesale tax, and then the county you live in, they could charge what they wanted to, and put you out of business. So what we did this year in Maryland is for the flavor ban is that we printed up, and I don't have an example here, but we printed up a postcard that said, "We are not Big Tobacco, we are not Juul, vaping saved my life, Maryland Vapor Alliance" on one side, and the other side was a place where someone could write their name and address, which was key and important.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, Kelly, get you one, buddy. And what flavor you used to quit with, and then you could write whatever you wanted about, vapor saved your life, don't ban flavors, just we try to keep it respectful. I think we printed up 5,000 of these cards, distributed out to all of our member shops, had customers fill them out, they filled them out, or anyone who vapor has affected their life, rounded them all up, and we handed them off from one person to another or mailed them. And then we all took them down to our lobbyist office. They photocopied every single one of them multiple times, and then took these to their respective districts in Maryland. And then when we testified, we set all these cards on the table where we testified.
Oh, wow.
And we said, these are your constituents. These are real people with real addresses in Maryland that do not want this and disagree with what you're doing. And on the tax side, we did, our lobbyists did their lobbying. We wanted people to call their actual legislators.
Right.
So a lot of states do call to actions where anybody can call from anywhere. We wanted people to call to look up their legislators, what district they were in, and call their specific legislators and say, listen, the Economic Matters Committee and the Finance Committee is trying to do this to me. I don't agree with it. What are you going to do about it?
Right.
And so in the end, after all the testimony, after all the whatever, we actually had a kids panel too. Like my daughter, Kaylee, right behind me here, she came down to Annapolis to testify. We had the kids write their own testimonies and how vapor has affected our lives, and it was well received. And so in the end, the 86% wholesale tax, which would have destroyed every business in Maryland, got reduced. And we worked an amendment. So now we have a 6% point of sale tax. So
wow.
We have a Maryland sales tax of 6%, and this will be a 6% on top of that for all vapor products, excluding batteries. So that's a win. That was a great result from what we were handed. And because of the coronavirus, they ended session short, which was sign and die was last Wednesday. If you don't know what sign and die is, it just means this is the drop dead date. A bill is either signed or it dies. Right. And at sign and die, there wasn't enough gumption to get the flavor bill passed, so it died. Nice. So we had an excellent legislative season, and I'm just blown away by our lobby team and what they've done, and all of our member shops, what they've done, and the hard work they've put in, and it paid off. We have a special session coming up in May. It's only supposed to be for vetoes, but since for some weird reason I don't really trust the government, so we're going to be paying attention to what happens in May and during this special session, and we'll see what happens. And as always, if something happens, I'll let you guys know about it, and let the people of Maryland and whoever else wants to know what's going on.
Okay.
So long story, kind of short.
That's awesome. That is a great win. That is incredible. From an 86% wholesale tax down to a 6% floor point of sale tax. That's not a small jump.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. It's we're very happy with it, and we're going to find some ways. I mean, I know a lot of shops are just going to pass that tax right on to their customers. It's kind of hard not to do, but some shops may take some of the burden on themselves by lowering prices. I don't know, but it's expensive to run a vape shop, and that's people don't realize that's why prices are higher at a vape shop, because it is. We got a lot of bills to pay when we're running something brick and mortar. So
yeah,
right. Now, I know that you and I had talked a bit about it earlier. I'm going to bring up that nasty four-letter abbreviation, the PMTA. We talked a little bit about that earlier today, and I was just curious. I know that we've got that, potential for it to be pushed away for a little while. I know there's that potential, but in the case that it doesn't, what would that mean?
Well, as of right now, if they stick strictly to the guidelines, come May 12th, which is coming up soon, that all vapor products that do not have a PMTA will be illegal. Every vapor product, doesn't matter what it is. You need a separate PMTA for every SKU number. So if you have one liquid in one flavor in 3 different milligrams, that's 3 PMTAs. An RDA would be a PMTA, a tank would be a PMTA, a coil would
be I thought it only applied to juices.
No, if I say everything is considered a tobacco product. So
bear with me a second, guys. Hang on.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead. So if you have a bag of cotton that you use to wick your RDA, that's a tobacco product. It needs a PMTA.
Okay, so it's all tobacco products.
Yep, all tobacco products.
I gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
It sucks, but it's the way it is.
Yeah.
And,
now, I know that we were looking at, and I don't know where it's gone since then. I know that the Trump administration was looking into that new agency under the Department of Health and Human Services.
Mhm.
They were looking into that. I know that the budget for that won't be approved until at least October. Now, with that being said, and this is the way I've seen it, is that if we have to wait till October to find out if that budget gets approved, that agency doesn't even exist until that day, which means that the FDA is still going to have control up until the point when that agency gets funding, correct?
As far as I know, yes, but there's always a few caveats to everything. So Trump has declared a national emergency. So that gives Trump additional powers to do different things. Now, he could use his powers to push through stuff that we just weren't aware of, that, oh, you can do that.
Yeah.
But will he? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's there's so much unknown. I mean, even the PMTA process itself is still unknown. If you were a millionaire and you had $30 million at your disposal and you wanted to get a PMTA, you still can't complete that PMTA because the FDA has not given proper guidance. I mean, you have to do this thing called HPHC testing for a PMTA, which is like hazardous potential. My daughter's stepping in. Hazardous potential chemical something. I forget exactly what it stands for, but you have to do this testing, and it's $50,000 per testing.
Oh, geez.
And the FDA has changed what's required quite a few times. So each time they change it, you have to get it retested, which is another $50,000.
Wow.
There's only a handful of companies in
They'll be
the
able to afford
world
that.
who do this testing.
Yeah.
So even if you had all this money, you're not going to find lab space to do it.
Mm.
And plus the FDA hasn't given proper guidance for you even to comply with it.
Right.
So there's so many things wrong with this process. That's why we're actually pushing for PMTA reform. And then we also talked about the UVA today in the rally.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
and
we
that's,
did.
that's what it's all about. Yes, honey.
That's right. We did talk a little bit about the DC rally. That date's been pushed out a little bit now. We've got 4 potential dates. I think I was talking about earlier today. We've got 2 in June, 1 in July, and then 1 in August. But we've got 2 different dates that they're throwing around there at the UVA.
I believe
Tristan Thompson. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it was, I think, during his live on the UVA website or Facebook group page is the one I was watching when he was discussing this.
Yeah.
And yeah, he mentioned that there was the 6th and the 20th of June, the 11th of July, and I think it was like the 8th and the 15th of August were potential dates. I don't know if they've come up with anything yet, but it also comes down to, like you and I had discussed, playing this whole thing by ear with the coronavirus. We don't know where it's going to go from here. It could take another few months, and if that's the case, then the date's going to have to get pushed out even further. Yeah,
I'm looking at their website right now, and anybody who wants to look, it's actually United Vapors with an E Alliance.org, and they have a place where you can donate and why they're holding the rally and everything. And I'm not seeing any updated information, but they do talk about the United Vapors Alliance will loudly inform Congress and the FDA that if they do nothing, 99% of all vape products will be removed from the market by May 2020. And that's what we're fighting for. And they just said this, this industry will die. And they're trying to change the course of history, and then they want you as a part of it. So, but yeah, I know. So Tristan helps run the UVA,
yep,
and a few other people you may know as the Vaping Legion.
Oh yes,
along with Sherwin Mina. he's a great guy. He's a guy that kind of was the spokesperson at the rally. He's a good
Yep.
person to ask as well. Matthew Salter again.
Matthew Elliott.
Yep, Matthew Elliott. Yep.
Yep. I'm a good buddy with Jonathan Evans from the Legion. I've talked with him several times, and it's a pleasure to know those guys. They are some of the biggest hearted people and care about the vaping industry more than a lot of others that I know.
Absolutely.
So. But that's not really that great for us then. Either way we go with this PMTA thing, whether or not, they hold it off or if it, goes through on May 12th, it doesn't look good for us.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, I've always said, I'm going to fight to the very end. It's.
Yep.
There's so many things. I mean, but I always take it into account what's happened so far that people said wasn't going to happen. Mm-hmm. There are so many times along this journey in the past 6 years I've been involved with it that people said, this isn't going to happen. There's no way this is going to happen. You're going to be shut down. This is going to die. And every step along the way, we've beat legislation. We've beat this. We influenced the president on social media to get industry leaders a meeting with him personally. All these just unprecedented things have happened that people said, no, it's not going to happen. So, that does give me some faith along with because the VTA, they have national lobbyists.
Right.
We have state lobbyists. Alex Clark of Kazaa, United Vapors Alliance, the Vaping Legion. I mean, all these people are doing things and working together to a certain extent. And we're involving the American people more and more all the time, especially customers.
Right.
That they're starting to wake up and go like, listen, I got to do my part if I want to continue this harm reduction journey. So anything's possible at this point,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's good to stay optimistic and what's the word that I'm looking for here? Keep aware of where you have already been, the battles that you've already fought, the battles that you've already won. Yep. I heard so many people tell me, oh, these rallies, they don't really do anything. They don't make a difference. But I may have been one of those people before I went to my first rally last year. But it's no surprise, before the rally, everybody knew. Just a couple of days before the rally, Trump had announced, oh, we're going to put through a full nationwide flavor ban. And then what happened the next day after the rally? He came out and totally changed up his game.
He sure
completely.
Did.
And so it's like, you say it's not going to work, but look what we've already done. And just think about what more we could do in the future and that we're going to do in the future. So it means something. It does.
I feel like we're in that movie, The Matrix, and Lawrence Fishburne is like, don't look at the path ahead of you, but what we've laid in the path behind us or something, we're doing stuff that's never been done before. We're making history, and this will be remembered. And we're on the right side of history, as many people have said. And it's worth fighting for. So I always said, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down swinging.
Yep.
So.
Absolutely. That's it. That's what I've always said too, is like, even I said it, and I still fight today. I said it before the flavor ban happened here in Massachusetts, when we had the flavor ban pushed through and that temporary full sale ban in Massachusetts as well.
Yeah.
And I don't even know. I haven't stopped fighting. I'm not going to stop fighting. I said it back then. Until the day that we win, I will continue to fight.
Yep.
Until the day that vaping has been made legalized and has fair regulation for everyone, then I'll stop fighting. But until that day, You'll have to pry my vape out of my cold dead fingers.
That's what people in the UK did. You know, there was I think back in when was it? I think it was like 2015. There was calls to get vaping banned, and it was all up in the air a bit. And then TPD, we thought TPD was going to be worse than it was.
Yep.
But then I can't remember who. There was one guy and one trade organisation that sort of kept the fight going, as it were, and went to all these government meetings. And I think it might be UKVIA actually that started it all.
Oh, UKVIA.
No,
Yeah.
I know that at one point TPD limited you guys to 10 milliliter bottles. Is that still in effect?
Yeah, for nicotine. So with nicotine already in the bottle, they've limited it to 10 mil only.
Okay.
So the 10 mil bottles only have nicotine in them.
Okay.
The rest of it, you have to buy separate nicotine and buy the bigger bottles and put it in, shake it up yourself.
Right. They use what are called Nick shots. They're just 10 milliliter bottles of 18 milligram strength nicotine.
Yeah.
And you just add that to a 100 ml bottle of juice and shake it up. You're good to go.
Dilute it down to what you need. Yep.
Yeah. And Stuart Ayrton in chat just said, and now we have vape shops in some hospitals.
Yep.
Yes. Which is awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And wasn't Scotland, I believe, was the first place I heard of that started handing out vaporizers to prisoners.
Huh.
Yes, there was.
The incarcerated were given vape pens for those that were smokers.
I did hear that, yeah.
So, I mean, it's one of those things. I've always said that too, is that I wish that maybe the U.S. would pull a page out of the book of the U.K. and the vaping side of things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just sick of all the rhetoric like that we get when we go down and testify in Annapolis. I mean, they throw everything at us. And these are public. I mean, what worries me the most is that these are public health officials and straight up lying, bold-faced lies about what vapor is and what it isn't. I mean, they say everything that vapor kills babies, it poisons mothers carrying babies, it's killing people with the vitamin E acetate. Now they're even saying
antifreeze in it.
It causes proliferation of the coronavirus, and they're throwing shit against a wall and saying what's sticking. But it should bother people that they're saying this about vaping, because if your public health officials are flat out lying to the public about what vaping is, what else are they lying about? Because these are supposed to be the people that protect us and inform us of what's going to hurt us and what's not. And if they're lying about that, I mean, a liar is a liar.
It makes you think. It makes you think, doesn't it? Like, see if these, like government officials are actually doing their research.
They're not.
None of them doing research. Just passing laws here, there, and everywhere just because they can.
They have an agenda.
Yeah.
Our the chairman of the Economic Matters Committee in Maryland got up last session and said in front of the whole audience in a very loud voice that people think vapor is safer than cigarettes, and he goes, "I'm here to tell you it's not." Then he goes on to tell about how someone in his family died of cigarettes, and that's why we need to pass a vape ban. And you just sit there and wonder, it's like, okay, you're relating cigarette death, which, my grandfather died of cigarettes as well. What's that have to do with vaping?
Yeah, nothing. This is not smoking.
Yeah. I mean, and I told, like, during my testimonies, when I go down there, I say, these are your constituents, all these people that filled out these postcards.
Yeah.
And to all the legislators and everybody, I was like, you need to go talk to your constituents that vape and hear their stories of how it got them off of cigarettes and how they feel. Because many of our customers, one second, buddy, many of our customers have lung x-rays and tests done by doctors, and they're willing to share them.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the UK did it right.
Well, you asked that question earlier, and it's because, politicians here in the U.S., they have an agenda, and that agenda is money, and the money that they get from like the likes of the MSA agreement.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's they have their own agenda. They choose to push that as much as they can. Hello.
Yeah, my son, if he would come home and sit in my lap, and I kept going, look, disappeared. Now you're here. Disappeared. That's little Wyatt.
Hi, Wyatt.
Hi.
Hi. Hashtag space babies.
Yeah, you got penguins on your shirt, huh?
Where's your gluten?
I don't have one.
Then how do you do that?
Don't worry about
Don't worry about it. I love it. Oh, man. Yeah, they do. They have their own agenda, and it all comes down to money. And it doesn't really matter what the facts say. They could see every research study that's been done, and
Yep.
it wouldn't matter because it doesn't fuel their agenda.
I mean, if the UK had a similar healthcare that you guys do and over in the States, I think vaping would be a lot different over here. It's just my opinion. Is it you have to pay for your healthcare? We get it free.
Yeah, I think if you guys actually had privatized healthcare like we do,
Yeah.
then you'd see vaping painted in a very different light.
Yeah.
But also, you have to accept the fact that the MSA isn't there either.
Yep.
The
MSA protects cigarettes against quite a few things. I mean, it protects cigarettes from ever being banned, and it protects big tobacco from people suing big tobacco to get, because they're sick.
Yep.
Now, I want to ask about that MSA money. What was the real reason for big tobacco to start handing out MSAs?
Well, I haven't done 100% research on this,
Okay.
but I've talked to a lot of other advocates, and from what I gathered, it was born out of people getting sick from smoking
That's what I thought.
and suing to big tobacco, and I guess there was enough people that it could have heavily damaged big tobacco or taken them down. So they came out with the MSA to protect big tobacco. And then how it works, where a state takes out basically a bond every year to get an influx of cash for the state from anywhere from millions of dollars to multiple tens of millions of dollars. And then they repay that bond payment with the sales from cigarettes. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do look at facts and numbers. And the first couple states to ban vapor, which was New York and was it Wisconsin or Michigan, and
Michigan,
then
I
Massachusetts.
believe.
Yeah, I can't remember. Like I said, don't ever count on me to remember exactly. And then Massachusetts. And if you look at the MSA payments and the top 5 and the top 10 who are at risk of defaulting on their MSA payments,
Look who's got flavor bans.
yeah, those are the ones who enacted flavor bans. And you can call it conspiracy theory or not.
It's not
the
coincidence.
Numbers don't lie.
No.
And that's reported directly from the state government. So it's their
So
numbers.
basically, it's debts that so the states are certain states are in debt, and they need to pay that debt off.
That's the big
Somehow.
problem, is that a lot of these states have overborrowed and
Yep.
are at risk of defaulting on their loans.
Right.
And that is where the issue comes in.
And so, a lot of this stuff I've learned over dealing with legislation, because when we show up to Maryland to testify, yeah, I saw on there some. The cigar lobby is there,
Mhm.
the big tobacco lobby is there, the service station lobby is there, and when this 86% wholesale tax came up this year, they all talk about the MSA because they are all required to report many aspects of their business as far as shipments in, shipments out, sales, and everything to MSA.
Right.
So that's a very integral part of how they do business. And so there is pretty strict record keeping on that.
That's some pretty shady stuff.
Yeah, it just seems like it.
So I wanted to ask you guys a question. So over here in the UK, obviously because of COVID-19, everything's in lockdown. Only essential key workers can go out to work.
Hmm.
So like supermarket workers, delivery drivers, everything else like that. I just wanted to ask you guys: do you think the vape shops are essential? Should they remain open during this time or not?
What would I like, or what? Because I mean, when I hear essential, I think emergency personnel.
Yeah,
I think police officers, fire and EMTs, hospital workers. Um, obviously, there's the need for food and stuff, so you're going to need somebody to be employed at these, grocery stores or markets or whatever. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, overall, I think it's essential for people that, you know, want to quit smoking or want to stay off the cigarettes
yeah.
during this, especially during this time, then yeah, I think it is essential.
Because there is a debate going on over here that that vape shops shouldn't remain open or they should remain open. Just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on it.
So in Maryland, we had our lobbyist contact the deputy chief of staff for the governor's office, and I agree with her line of thinking. Um, I'm not anybody to say what's essential and what's not, because I kind of I'm along the same lines of thinking as Lethal here is when I think essential, I think of what he thinks of, and so what we're doing at my vape shop is that we are not letting anyone in the vape shop. We're doing all curbside service, and we may restrict that even further. Is that we may have people stay in their cars, call the shop from their cars. We get what they need. They read us their credit card number. We ring out their purchase, and we just go hand it to them in their car. So there's even further minimizes the person to person contact.
Yeah,
And I don't care what business you're in, small business is going to be really, really hurt by the COVID-19, and not just us, but pizza places, anywhere. That I think that if you're smart about how you interact with the public and you can limit that exposure as much as humanly possible, I don't think there's a reason you should not stay in business.
yeah,
Especially like
Yeah.
my dad's a lawn landscaper.
Yep.
He doesn't interact with people
no,
at all. He goes and mows their yard,
yeah,
whether they're home or not, and then he bills them.
Right.
yeah,
So there's no reason that he shouldn't be able to continue to conduct business because there's no human interaction like whatsoever unless there needs to be. And almost any business could operate that way.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I mean, I don't work for them anymore, but Domino's, just before I left, they were introducing a no contact delivery service, which means you pay online, and then
You
what
drop
they
their
do,
pizza on the step.
and then
yep,
you
ring the
put the
doorbell
pizza
thing.
on their doorstep, and then you ring them up and say your pizza's outside, and then you go.
Yep, and that's perfect. I mean, to me, that's perfect logic.
Yeah.
It allows a small business to stay in business because Domino's are franchised in the U.S.
Yeah,
Allows them to continue to do business and basically take out all human interaction, person to person. And I think that's totally
I
fine.
mean, the Royal Mail, our post service down here, where they've started to do that as well. They started to give people their packages on their doorstep.
America does that anyway. They just leave all the packages in front of the door and take off.
Yeah, well, they used to knock the door and hand the parcel over, face to face. But
Yeah, we used to when we have to sign for them, we do. Otherwise, they'll tend to leave them on the porch or something.
yeah, they've stopped the signing process as well because obviously like people how many people are handling those little machines they
Yeah.
have. You know,
And, and I used to work for the post office. I worked there for 10 years. And I know everybody needs their mail and everything, but when you get mail in the United States, every piece of mail that you get is touched by somebody. and it's touched by several
Multiple
people.
peoples.
The clerks in the front get all the mail that were sorted by the machines in Baltimore, Maryland, and then it gets sent to the local post office, and then they get all the mail, which gets riffled through, and that gets sorted into routes, and then the people pull it on the routes, and it gets sorted into the addresses.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if you've been paying attention to COVID-19, they've given us statistics of how long the virus can survive on metal, plastic, paper, ever, and it's days.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you go out and get your mail and bring it inside, you almost need to disinfect your mail.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I mean, I don't know how you're going to protect against that. Yeah, yeah. My wife just said she knows people who are actually doing that, and it's not a bad idea because you don't know who's touching your mail and you don't know where they've been.
Well, it's like Pixie just said. What scares her is that the virus lives longest on cardboard, paper, and cardstock. Guess what mail is?
Exactly.
You know. Yeah, I don't even want to think about it. It's another example of 6 degrees of separation.
I'm going to physical therapy because I have a frozen shoulder, and I was in a car accident not too long ago. But when I go to my physical therapy, I have to sign a document every time I go to get treated to say, have I been in contact with anybody who's had symptoms or been around people that whatever.
Right.
And then I have to wash my hands before I go in there, and they have to disinfect every piece of equipment after it's been used by every single person.
Yep.
Every time.
That's the good thing about the physical therapy place that I went to. They did that anyways. As soon as you were done with something, they were wiping it down, sanitizing it, everything.
Yep, as they should. And but
I mean, it just comes down to personal hygiene, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
You know, because if you're not washing your hands regularly, which we should all do anyway, regardless whether there's a big virus around or not, we should be washing our hands.
Yeah.
After we go to the toilet, after we've been on the underground or whatever, on the train, on the bus, it doesn't really matter whether there's a virus going around or not. People should wash their hands. It's just common sense.
And especially with bacteria. So when I went to nursing school and all the pre-nursing schools, my favorite subject was always microbiology. And if you're not talking about viruses, but just bacteria, some bacteria have different cell division rates than other bacteria. Some bacteria can reproduce and cell divide every 5 minutes, sometimes longer, sometimes quicker. But if you take an average of saying like one bacteria that cell divides every 5 minutes. So if you have one bacteria, just a single bacteria on your hand, if you don't wash your hands for 5 to 6 hours, just from that one bacteria strain, you'll have over 3 million bacteria on your hands by not washing them for 5 to 6 hours, not counting any other bacteria that you pick up from other surfaces within those 5 to 6 hours, which will all be cell dividing. So you could have, just be infested with bacteria and not washing your hands in 5 to 6 hours. So just wash your hands anyway.
Yeah.
A good idea.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. With that, guys, however, we are going to have to wrap this up. We are at 8:05 now.
It goes so quickly.
It did. It just went right by. So thank you very, very much again to our guest, Matt Milby. It's been a pleasure having you on, bro. And it's always a good time talking with you. I appreciate you.
If you ever need any information about whatever state's going on, if I can help facilitate that and give you some info, just let me know. I'll do that to my best of my ability. So
sounds perfect, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. CJ, as always, it's been a pleasure, my friend. I wish you the best of days. Actually, evenings.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to say anything before we wrap up here? Goodbyes, sign outs.
Guys, thank you so much for coming in. Spanners doing an awesome job as always. Without you guys, we don't have a show. So thank you so much for popping in. Lethal, as always, big pleasure, man. And Matt, thank you very much for popping on. Nice to meet you as well. It's a really, really good show. Really good show. I'm enjoying being a co-host. So thank you so much.
I appreciate that.
Thank you so much for that. So, until next time, see you later. Matt, you want to say anything?
Matt, any plugs?
I don't really want to plug anything, but Thank you, you and CJ, for having me on. I do appreciate it. And I assume everybody who's watching your shows in the vaping industry, um, this is the time in history where we need you guys involved heavily. And I always tell people, get involved and bring a friend. Uh, if you can get to the DC rally or support the DC rally in any way, or your state organization, find out who they are, where they are, Twitter, Facebook, other social media presence they may have. Find out what's going on in your state, find out what's going on in other states, and help out because legislation spreads.
Yeah.
If it's like, well, it worked in New York, so let's do it in Ohio or let's do it in here. If you need help find your state association, look me up. I'll help you out and direct you in the right way. But get involved. Otherwise, like I said, May is coming up real soon, and if we all do something, vaping is going away, and I don't want it to, and I don't think anybody watching wants it to. So please get involved and do what you can. So
Beautiful. Very, very, very good words to adhere and keep in your heads, guys. Do something. Let's do something. That's what we got for you for tonight's show, guys. This has been The Lounge Live with me, Lethal Coils, your co-host, Vaping with CJ, and our very special friend, Matthew Milby. That's what we've got for you tonight, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. As always, it is hump day, so we do have the weekend to look forward to. Not much we can be down about, but if you are down about something, please remember that you are the master of your own destiny. You're the only one in this world that can pick and choose how positive or negative your days will ever be. So keep that positivity high. Keep the smile on your face and let that negative brush off your shoulders, guys. Anyways, that'll do it for us tonight, guys. Until next time, stay safe, stay happy, stay cloudy, and yeah, let's keep fighting for our right to vape, guys. Be healthy and social distancing. Later, guys.